Welcome to Neosho Wildcat Baseball, live on KNEO.org. This broadcast is a sporting outreach of the KNEO Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Neosho Wildcats. Now let's go to the game site for all the action.
And good afternoon, Wildcat fans. John Ball, Matt Ball. Matt, almost like Harry Carey at a Cubs game, sitting out in right field. We've got about 100 kids sitting back here behind us. We're ready to get this ball game underway about 2 o'clock. So pardon the noise, but these kids are enthusiastic, aren't they?
Hey, man, you know what? If you can't do it for the kids, who can you do it for? This is awesome.
It really is. It's great. And you're seeing a little bit different view. We are sitting out here behind home plate, which, by the way, we will do that on Saturday as well because Branson comes to town and we'll be playing them at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we are certainly glad to have you with us. This is the pregame show. It's being brought to you by ProLube, your tire and auto center. We will begin by talking about this Nixa Ball Club. They come in with a record of 23-10, Matt. They played about 500 ball, maybe a little over 500 ball. They were 3 for 3 after their 6th ball game, and then they beat Branson last night. They beat them 8-5, and it was not really fast going for them. Branson jumped out with a 3-run homer at the beginning of the ball game, and Nixa was down, but they came back to beat them. Last year, their record was 23-15. However, they graduated 5 seniors from that particular class. They have won in Nixa at least 18 ball games since 2018. And one of the things they've got this year is the sophomore phenom, Adam McKnight. He's a 3-sport athlete. He starts as quarterback for the football team. We saw him play inside when they brought their basketball team to town. It wouldn't surprise me to see him again, you know.
Just he's an all-around athlete.
He is a great all-around athlete. Coach Logan Hughes is in his 4th year as head coach at Nixon after spending 8 years at Drury University as an assistant and their recruiting coordinator. He says that he's got 5 returning full-time starters, and get this, he has 10 returning pitchers who have spent some time in some varsity time last year. So they've got a lot going for him. He feels like, obviously, that their strengths lie in 2, and we'll see the center fielder, Wyatt Vincent, and we'll see what kind of a speed demon he is. He stole 31 bases last year, but that's okay. We've got our own speed demon, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We absolutely do. This is the pregame show. It's being brought to you by ProLube, the Tire and Auto Center. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
People's Bank of Seneca, we care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, we've dedicated to providing excellent customer service across the 4-state area, ensuring that every experience is exceptional. Visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. Learn more at peoplesbankofseneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Being a Lion comes with a reputation for excellence. Whether it's in the classroom, on the court, or in the community, Lions are leading the way. With innovative and immersive academic programs, new scholarship opportunities, and a campus committed to the future, now is the perfect time to find your purpose. Find your pride at Missouri Southern State University.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
Compton CPA Group PC, located at 112 Northwood in Neosho, is a full-service accounting firm and is proud to support the Neosho Wildcats. Compton CPA Group PC can assist you at every stage of your financial life and help you work toward your financial goals. From tax preparation to bookkeeping services, Compton CPA Group PC has you covered. For all your tax and business affairs, call 417-451-2932 or learn more at ComptonCPAGroup.com.
All right, and thank you.
Awesome.
Carver Elementary, I believe it is. They are here, and as we said, they're right behind us, and they are Wildcat fans. And Matt says, I'm almost as excited as they are to get this ball game underway. So thank you very much to you all. We're excited. There's always a little bit more ambience, Matt, when there's a big crowd out here, so we're glad to see them.
Love it.
Yeah. Hey, the Cats come in with a record of 20-8, having won 5 of the last 6, losing to Carl Junction on Saturday by a score of 5-1. It was 1 run on 4 hits. The Cats have done just a pretty good job of being able to do what they needed to do. The 4 guys that got the hits for us were Versluis Williams, who has come on strong here in the last little bit, ever since he had a 2-hit performance against Parkview, Camden Smith, and Caden Fisher. And here's the thing about it, the Cats the other night stole 9 bases. Finn Versluis stole 3 of them. By the way, he is up to 41 bases this year.
That's a lot.
That is a whole lot. Cats beat Webb last week in 9 innings, 3-2. 9 innings was a strong performance from the guy we'll see on the mound tonight, Brody Crane, who also had a ground rule double and scored the winning run. And the guy that has become his stablemate out in right field is Alex Rodriguez, and he came in and finished the ball game off. So it was exciting for the Cats. We're moving forward, getting ready for district playoff. We play Nixa today. We will be right back out here on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock, and we will be playing the Branson Pirates. Once that's over with on Monday night, we will move to the seating meeting, and we'll know we will most definitely play on Wednesday night. We just don't know who yet.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. We're going to take another time out, and we'll be back. What you see out there right now is the Nixa team taking their infield, and then we'll be back. We'll have the keys to the Cats and much, much more. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Looking for a personal checking account with real rewards? Open a Community Choice checking account at First Community Bank and earn up to $200. Get $100 when you set up direct deposit and another $100 after just 15 debit card purchases. No monthly service fee, free online and mobile banking, and interest paid on your balance. Open your account today with just $50 and start enjoying the perks. Call 888-780-8391 or visit firstcommunity.net for details. First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. See Bank for complete details.
Sam Gorham and Aaron Mitchell are your specialty risk insurance agents for Neosho and the surrounding area. They've been involved in Neosho sports since their own high school days and know the importance of athletic competition and how it teaches students life lessons every day. For all your home, auto, life, farm, ranch, and crop insurance needs, call Sam Gorham today at 417-850-5116 or Aaron Mitchell at 417-483-8337. You can also learn more online at specialtyriskinsuranceagency.com. Go Wildcats!
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us. It's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, ProLube gives you the best racetrack team experience, so you can be worry-free.
ProLube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
Here we are back at Roy B. Schaefer Stadium. As you can hear, we've got a bunch of babies back behind us and loving every minute of it. This segment, we're going to start with Keys to the Cats. And if you can hear me, Keys for the Cats is sponsored by State Farm agent Eric Norris in Neosho, located at 437 West Kohler Street in Neosho. Eric and his team offer a variety of insurance services for individuals and businesses. Learn more online at ericnorrisinsurance.com or by phone at 417-451-6666. Let's go Wildcats.
All right, and for tonight, we're going to do something just a little bit different. The definition of superb is impressive. So tonight, C, and it doesn't start with a C, but I know C stands for keep applying impressive, superb pressure. We do that by getting on base, disrupting the pitcher, and applying pressure to the Nixa defense. Hit the ball and get people in scoring position with our superb speed. A, let's attack early. Nixa is not used to being behind in a ball game. Let's let them know how uncomfortable we can make them feel with our superb playing skill and show them the way to go home.
Yeah.
T, let's turn this Nixa team upside down by showing them they're not facing a team. They have not faced a team anywhere close to these Cats so far. We do that with superb defense and superb desire. S, we have got 2 more games before district, and they're both at home. Let's show our fans that we appreciate them and treat them to a superb win tonight against these Eagles.
Hey,
and that's what's
you know
going to
what?
take
It's going to mean a lot for all these babies back behind us, man. It should mean a lot to these guys playing, and I guarantee it does.
It really will, and what a great, I don't know who orchestrated this, but I love it, and I love every minute of it. We will be getting things underway here just pretty quick. We've got about 5 minutes, so let's take another time out, and we'll be back. This is the pregame show. It's being brought to you by ProLube, your tire and auto center. We're going to take a 2-minute time out, and we'll be back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcats Sports Network.
Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho serves the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer business banking services including checking and savings accounts, business loans, and electronic banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, a proud sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, equal housing lender, member FDIC, where their slogan is Southwest Missouri Bank.
I am a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm here to talk about life, your dreams, your work, your family, and how you can protect it all with a company that will talk to you with the honesty of a farmer and take care of you with the integrity of a neighbor. I'll make sure no detail is left uncovered so your family can breathe easy. Because just like you, I chose to build a life in Missouri too. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm from Missouri for life.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
And welcome back to Roy B. Schaefer Stadium, and what you hear is the kids back behind us. Go Wildcats! Yeah, so we're excited to have them with us. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, go Wildcats! Go Wildcats! It's exciting to be here. We are taking on the Nixa Eagles, and we're excited to be here. Matt, you've got a little something for us first, though, don't you?
Yeah. Let's. I want to congratulate a few people here. Congratulations, we got 3 seniors who just signed a letter of intent to further their sports education at colleges level the last week. Congratulations to Colby Shadwick, who signed to further his education and play golf at Missouri Southern next year. Congratulations to Quincy Simpson, who will play basketball for the University at St. Mary's in Leavenworth, Kansas. And congratulations to Isaiah Keyser, who will run track for Mid-American Nazarene. That number brings 10 total athletes that have signed letters of intent this year.
And that tells you something about this senior class. It's pretty exciting. We have got this kind of a senior class. They'll obviously be missed. The other night we had senior night here, and we recognized all of our seniors. We did something a little bit different. Each one of the seniors' dads got out and threw a pitch from home plate, and their son was back behind the plate in order to get it. So we're doing everything we can in order to make this great. By the way, we want you to be with us as we're on Facebook and YouTube on Thursday night when Luke Taylor and Matt Ball will be bringing you the Neosho graduation out at Bob Anderson Stadium. So we're just about ready to go. At game time, it is 85 degrees, and it's obviously sunny. And wind is 5 to 6 miles an hour. We can't see our normal flag because we're down here low, but we're about ready to start. The wind feels like it's out of the south-southwest at 5 to 6 miles an hour, and we will leave it at just that. We're going to get started now, and and as you can hear, these are the starters. And we're going to get the starters. And we will give you the starters as the PA announcer gives them out. Number 13, the right fielder for Nixa is Caleb Jones. Then it'll be the left fielder wearing number 21, Max Nichols. In the third hole, the speedster Wyatt Vincent in center field. In the 4 hole, wearing number 3 is Caden Cloud. He also plays shortstop. In the 5 hole, it is number 11, Wyatt Mabe. He'll also play third base. On the mound tonight is Jackson Gambles. He'll be wearing number 6. In the 7 hole, wearing number 12 is Cameron Miller. He will be playing first base. And then in the catcher, Tyler Yonkers will be the 9th, and rounding it out will be Parker Mann. He plays in second base. And here we are with your Neosho Wildcats. And we'll start out with Cats come in with a record of 20-8. We start off with Finn Versluis, the center fielder. He's the guy that's got to get it going for us. If he gets us going, he's a speed demon of our own. Playing third base is number 11, Jaden Nichols. And the catcher behind the plate for the Cats, done a phenomenal job all year long, is Caden Smith. Batting fourth and trying to help himself out on the mound is Brody Crane. By the way, we are doing this today by way of a bet to Brody Crane. I told him that we would be here, and he said, let's shake on it. Number 13 in the 5 hole is Drake Jennings, the designated hitter. He normally plays left field, but he has a little bit of an ankle problem. Jaden Fisher, probably among the more consistent hitters of the ball club, will be playing in second base. Hudson Williams, who has come on strong as a shortstop, is in the 7 hole. Brody Arthur, the left-hander who pitches, plays the outfield, will be playing first base. And number 9 will be A-Rod Alex Rodriguez in ninth field. Blaine Patterson will be playing left field for the Cats. And we're going to stand up, and we are going to have our national anthem, and then we'll be ready to get this ball game underway. All right, and with that, we're about ready to get this ball game underway. We are at Roy B. Shaver Stadium. Matt Ball, John Ball, and a whole bunch of kids back behind us are ready to see the Wildcats, and they're going to come up and win the ball game. Coach Josh, we're about ready to get going, and we will get ready. Here comes Brody Crane. He is out on the mound for the Cats, and he is the guy that has thrown the ball hard all year long. Coach Hughes, the head coach over at Nixa, shakes hands with the home plate umpire, and he gets over in his third base position, and we'll be ready to get this ball game underway. Matt, it's an exciting time for the Cats. We have won our 20th ball game, and a little more research has told me that that is the school record. We have never won 20 games in the history of the school.
Man, you know what? That's awesome, but I'm not surprised with the way these guys play. I'm really not. I mean, if you haven't been out here to watch them, that's unfortunate because these guys are really special and they're really doing something special.
Yeah, they are. It's a great, great ball club. This group of seniors, and there's 8 of them on this ball club. But here's the thing about it. Neosho's got a really, really great future once these seniors leave. But this group of seniors has been playing together for a long time. They were disappointed in their performance last year. They know they could do more. And Coach Kilgore, who, by the way, is also the athletic director and has not coached baseball since 2015, jumped in and said, well, let's just start it off and I'll be the coach and give these kids some confidence and show them I appreciate them and I understand them. And it's certainly been a huge, huge transaction for these Cats, and they have transitioned to a we instead of me ball club. Brody Crane on the mound for the Cats. He looks down to Caleb Jones, the right fielder. Shakes his head up and down, and he goes from the stretch. Here comes the first pitch, high and outside for a ball. Brody throwing the fastball is a little bit intimidating. There's the next one, swung on, strike one. And that evens the count out 1-1 on Caleb Jones, the right fielder. Crane looks down at the dirt. Here comes his next pitch, and that's in there for calls. No, ball 2. Well, I guess that was outside. I thought the home plate umpire was getting ready to call it. Crane looks down. Kenton Smith. Here comes the next one. Swung on, foul ball, strike 2. That evens the count at 2-2. If you're just joining us, glad to have you with us. We are in Neosho, Missouri for a 2 o'clock ball game and there's a ball low and outside, with the Nixa Eagles, who are 23-10. They're in our district, so this not only has COC implications, it also has district playoffs. Nixa coming in hot off a win over Branson last night, 8-5. There's the next pitch, and he walked him. So the right fielder, Caleb Jones, takes a base. Holding him on down at first base will be Brody Arthur. Cats have done a pretty good job as far as pickoffs are concerned, Matt. We've seen a couple of pickoff plays that they let the base runner get out there in what we call no man's land and then run him down. Max Nicholsworth, number 21, and plays left field. He steps in. Crane looks over at first base. Here comes the first pitch, and that's low for a ball. Wind's blowing just a little bit. It's blowing more west. It's almost blowing straight in from right field. Crane looks down. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a call strike right down the middle. That was the heater. So that evens the count at 1-1. We're in the top half of the first inning as the Wildcats entertain the Nixa Eagles. Nixa has a runner on first base. He got there by way of a free pass, and there's a throw over, and Jones is back in plenty of time. I think it's just great. These teachers back here are telling the kids exactly what's going on and why. So that excites it even more. And each one of those kids turned around, and there's the next pitch, and it's low for a ball. I was impressed during the national anthem. The flag is back behind us, and every one of those kids was turned and facing the flag.
They did. They did a great job.
They did. There's the next pitch, and that is inside. That'll make the count 3-1 on Max Nichols, the left fielder. Wyatt Vincent, the center fielder, is up next. Crane eyes over at first base. Here comes the pitch. And there's call strike 2 on the inside corner. Nothing real fancy about Brody Crane. We've seen him throw a little bit of a curveball. He doesn't have a changeup. He's just got heat. And when he brings it, and he brings it even with his curveball, he brings it hard. There's a throw over to first base.
That was a close one.
That was a close one, sure was. Full count, top half of the first inning, second batter, runner on first base, and there's a throw over again. And Arthur over there at first base. They're also pitching mates together, so they're pretty much in tune.
Yeah.
Here comes the next pitch, and there's a foul ball right back up here, the backstop, and we'll do it again. Nichols settles in. Crane looks over at first. There's the next one. Swung on. Got him. And there's the throw down to second base. Got him! Yes, sir! Nice play that time. Hudson Williams on top of it. It was a high throw. He jumped down. The base runner overran second base, and Hudson alertly turned around and got him. So Crane's got his first strikeout. And then going down to second base is a 2-6 with a stolen base, and there's 2 outs.
Boy, that was exciting right there.
That was exciting, and most definitely that's exactly what the Cats needed. Great job at defense. Here is Wyatt Vincent, the center fielder. There's the first one, swung on, strike 1.
Boy, he bounced right off that bag, didn't he?
He did.
He bounced right over it.
Sure did.
That's good.
Yeah, he was safe. The field umpire called him safe, and he got off the bag and was tagged immediately. There's ball 1. That evens the count at 1-1.
Yeah, if you can see that, viewers at home, I hope you can. I know there's a net in the way, but we're doing the best we can.
Here comes the next pitch. It's high. 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs. Top half of the first inning. Wildcats taking on the Nixa Eagles. There's the next pitch. Swung on, and that's going to be fouled off. Vincent showed that he can turn on that fastball, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he hit that ball down the third base line almost towards the Wildcats' dugout. So that evens the count at 2-2. He looks down. Here comes the next pitch. Got him! So Crane gets 2 strikeouts, and there were no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on at the end of 1/2 inning of play. It is the Nixa Eagles 0, the Neosho Wildcats coming up to bat. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
At Calvary Neosho, we aren't your grandmother's church, because she lives in Akron, Ohio, and that would be a terribly long commute for church. But if she did live in Neosho, we at Calvary would be delighted to have her come visit us. And since you live here, we would definitely like you to come visit us. Then, when your Nana comes to visit for Christmas, you can bring her to church and introduce us to her. We're sure she is a delightful lady. You can find us at Facebook/Calvary of Neosho, or join us in person at 3650 Oak Ridge Extension. We gather for worship Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Calvary Neosho. Not your grandma's church, but we'd sure like to meet her.
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Wildcats!
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
And welcome back into the bottom half of the first inning. The Nixa Eagles batted, and they've got a runner on. The first person was walked, and then we got him trying to steal second base. So then Crane had 2 strikeouts. So here come the Cats, and we'll start off with Finn Versluis. He's the guy we said earlier has stolen 41 bases. I tried to find out exactly what the single season base stealing record was, but I was not able to find that out. Versluis steps in, what we needed for him to get on base, and it's not unlike for him to steal second. And it looked like that there was an opportunity to bunt. The third baseman comes running in, Finn pulls it back, and it's called strike 1. Comes the next pitch, and that's low. That'll even the count at 1-1. Timeout's called. Versluis called timeout, and home plate umpire did not get his hand up, but there's 2 balls and a strike on the center fielder for the Cats. Versluis. Comes the next pitch, and there's call strike 2 on the outside corner. Jackson Gamble on the mound for Nixa this afternoon. And I would assume that we're probably seeing the best of both. And there's a ball low and outside of both teams, Matt, on the mound tonight. This is an important ball game, not only for COC, but of course for District CD. All right, welcome back. We're sorry for the problems we're having out here, being down here where we are. There's another quick pitch back. Versluis continues to be over on first base. Jaden Nichols struck out while we were away, and we will hopefully we'll continue this ball game, and we'll just hang on to stuff and try to make sure that we're doing what we need to do in order to bring you the ball game. The catcher is Canton Smith. He's up there, and he has a ball and no strikes. Versluis is still over there on first base, and there's a throwback over by Jackson Gamble, who is the pitcher of record right now for Nixa. I said of record. He started the ball game. He's on the mound. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. The Cats had a not quite 3 up, 3 down, a nice play by catcher and shortstop, and there's a swung on.
Nice
and that's
hit.
A solid hit over to left field, and Versluis goes around to second, and Smith has a single. So we've got runners on first and second. Here is the designated hitter. This is Drake Jennings.
We got a pinch runner, and it is going to be Dane Arthur. For Caden Smith.
And here's Brody Arthur. I guess we changed that around. Here it comes back. And they're swung on by Arthur, strike 1. Arthur is the pitcher, Arthur Crane is the pitcher for the Cats. He's had a ground rule double here of late. In fact, he's had a couple of ground rule doubles to center field. And it's a matter of connecting. Gamble looks back at second base. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a high can of corn. Left fielder coming over for it, and the left fielder makes the play, and everybody goes back.
The designated hitter, number 13, great inning.
So Crane, the pitcher, flies out to the left fielder, and that's 2 outs. Matt Nichols over there left field. The center fielder, we saw the range of Wyatt Vincent. He was over there right on top of it, and that ball was almost in foul territory. And here comes a pitch from Gamble, and there's a call strike. Cats have got runners on first and second. Good opportunity. A hit's going to bring in at least one. Versluis just kind of hanging around there at second base. There comes a pitch, and they're swung on for strike 2.
Boy, everything's messing up out here.
It really is. We are.
Scoreboard just did.
Yeah. We're in the first inning, and we're sitting outside, and we've got a bunch of kids back behind us. So, what a great opportunity for a ball game. And there's a pitch. And Versluis is around to third base. And he slides in. So Taylor Yonkers just found out what he's got to look forward to the rest of the night, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Runner is Arthur. It is Dane Arthur, the freshman, over on first base. So the Cats have got runners at first and third. Jackson Gamble on the mound. Here comes the next pitch. And there is call. Strike 3.
Mercy.
So each pitcher had 2 strikeouts in the first inning, and we go to the second inning. The score is 0-0. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
Every team knows that the 2-point play can be a winning move. State Farm agent Eric Norris and his team are here to help you go for 2 by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call and saves you time and money. So go for the win and score big savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Eric Norris at 417-451-6666 for more information. And go Wildcats!
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Joe Ringstaff, your Neosho Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this. That's why Joe Ringstaff is a proud sponsor of the Neosho Wildcats on KNEO. For all your investment needs, call 417-451-7789 or stop by the office at 2502 Lusk Drive, Suite D in Neosho. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
And welcome back to Roy B. Shaver Stadium. It is a 2 o'clock in the afternoon ball game. In case you're wondering, Matt Ball, John Ball with you. And we've got a whole group of stands behind us of kids that are rotating in and out of here, as this is a 2 o'clock ball game, and kids from over in Carver and also the junior high are coming in to at least pick up a couple of innings along the way. There's some umbrellas out because it is certainly sunny. At game time, it was 85 degrees. Here's the number 4 hitter. And there's the first pitch on the inside corner. Caden Cloud, the shortstop. Low for ball 1. Brody Crane on the mound for the Cats, pitching from that same position that he normally does, that stretch position. That's low for ball 2. Balls and 2 strikes. We're in the top half of the second inning. Maybe we've got there's called strike 1. Caught the outside corner, and there was some heat on that pitch, Matt.
Yeah, there was. I wish I knew. I wish we had the gun.
Yeah, I wish we had the gun, too. Crane looks down. Here it comes again, and there's called strike 2.
That was a beautiful
That
pitch.
evens the count at 2-2. So we apologize again for the technical difficulties in this first inning, but There was no score. Cats had a great defensive effort, and he swung. Oh, no. Well, Canton thought that he swung, and he reached over to tag him, and the home plate umpire appealed to the base umpire, and he said no, he didn't go around. So that'll make a full count of 3-2.
Better to tag than not worry and then have to worry about it.
Absolutely. And there's the next pitch, and there is a ground ball that is swung on down the third baseline, is foul. So we'll come back and do it again. Stands are basically full. We began to wonder if there was going to be anybody out here today or not, but we're excited for this ball game. And Brody Crane looks down. Here comes the next pitch. Swung on to shortstop over to Hudson Williams. Hudson up over to Arthur for the out. So the first out is made in a 6-3. And here is the 5-hole hitter, number 11. He plays third base, and that is Wyatt Mabe. I'm not sure with the wind coming in from right field that the left-handed batters have got much of an advantage today, Matt.
Yeah, well.
And because the wind is like that, here comes the first pitch, and that's on the outside corner, strike one.
Not a hard win, though. It's not a hard win.
It's not a hard win. Alex Rodriguez is playing almost in right center field, and he's in close. There's a ball high that Canton had to reach up and grab a hold of. That'll even the count at 1-1. Crane looks down. He looks at Canton. Here comes the next pitch. There's a call, strike two on the outside corner. A ball and 2 strikes, 1 out in the top half of the second inning. Here comes the next pitch, and that's high and inside for a ball. Leaving the count at 2-2 on Mabe, the third baseman. He looks down, Crane looks down, and here's the pitch, and it's low and inside. That'll run the count full to 3-2. After Mabe will be the pitcher, Jackson Gamble. Comes the next pitch. Foul ball swung on, and we'll do it again.
That ball popped right through that net.
Did it?
Yeah, it did. Well, I'm glad nobody got. Oh, a lady did get hit.
In full count, 1 out. Here comes the next pitch, high, and it's a walk.
Now batting the pitcher, number 6, Jackson Gamble.
So Mabe draws a free pass. Here's the pitcher, Jackson Gamble. Runner on first base, there is 1 out. Here comes the first pitch, and that's a little inside and high for a ball. There's the next pitch, swung on, strike one. That evens the count at 1-1. Over on first base, Mabe is kind of dancing around just a little bit. We'll see if he takes off here in just a minute. Both of these are running ball clubs. There's no doubt about it. There's the next pitch, swung on, strike two. And Gamble says, I just can't believe I swung at that. Did you see him shake his head?
That's okay.
Yeah. He takes a deep breath. He steps back into the box. Crane looks down at his battery mate, Canton Smith. They're on the same page. There's the next one. And that is a little outside for a ball. That'll even the count at 2-2. Cameron Miller, the first baseman, will be up next. That got him strike three. And Gamble, being a pitcher, knew that was it, and he was walking off before the home plate umpire ever called it. So there's 2 outs now, and here's the first baseman, number 12, Cameron Miller.
Sometimes it's harder for the pitchers and the catchers to watch the pitches because, well, They think they've got the strike zone figured out.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That is exactly right. Quick throw over to first base. Runners back in plenty of time. Crane looks at first. Here comes the first pitch, and there is a high ball for Sluice going back. He makes the catch, and the side's retired. So Miller flies out to Versluis, and the Cats leave one at the end of 1.5 innings of play. The score is still 0-0. Your Neosho Wildcats coming up in the bottom half of the second inning. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
This is Pastor Barry Reel from the First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho. Though our culture seems to be rejecting the idea of truth, we remain committed to obeying God's Word by speaking the truth in love. We would love to share God's truth and love with you. We're located at 960 Burr Crossing Road in Neosho, and we meet on Sunday mornings at 10:45 a.m. and then again on Sunday and Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Find us on Facebook at First Free Will Baptist Neosho or call 918-413-5465.
Family Market, located at 201 North Neosho Boulevard, is your friendly hometown grocery store with delicious deli and the best selection of fresh meats and beautiful produce. Family Market can also take care of all your catering needs. Whether your upcoming event is big or small, Family Market can handle it all. Call 451-0057. That's 451-0057. Check out the Family Market Facebook page for weekly specials. Go Wildcats from Family Market of Neosho.
Fisher, Williams, and Arthur up in the bottom half of the second inning. If you're not out here, you're missing a real treat. These kids behind us are just rocking. They're glad to be outside and enjoy the sun. 85 degrees, it's sunny. Wind coming out of the southwest, probably maybe 8 to 10 miles an hour, right out of direct right field.
I think somebody let the dogs out.
I think somebody let the dogs out, too. Jaden Fisher. He was one of the 4 hits against Carl Junction on Saturday. He's proved to be very, very consistent.
Jaden Fisher.
He looks down at Coach Keith Kilgore. Takes a big, deep breath. Jackson Gamble is ready. Fisher spreads out with his back foot all the way back on the back, and there's the first pitch, and that's in there for a call strike 1. Cats had runners on first and second, then first and third and 2 outs, and could not bring anybody forward. That ball's high and inside. That'll make the count 1-1. Comes a pitch from Gamble, and that is outside. John Ball, Matt Ball with you. We're glad to bring you the ball game this afternoon. It's a beautiful, beautiful afternoon for baseball. Important ball game for both these teams. Here's the next pitch, and there's call strike 2 on the inside corner. So the count's now 2-2 on Jaden Fisher, the second baseman. He stretches way out. He knows he's got to protect the plate, and there's a ball outside. That'll run it full. Gamble had 2 strikeouts in the first inning. And there's a ball that was hit, and it is out of play, right over the top of the Nixa dugout. So the count's full once again. Fisher steps back in, stretches out. He's ready. He looks at Gamble. Here comes Gamble's pitch, and there's ball 4. Good eye. Here's Hudson Williams, the shortstop. Looks down at Coach Kilgore and assume that he may very well have something in mind for Mr. Williams. However, Hudson has hit the ball and hit the ball well here in the last 4 or 5 ball games. Here comes the first pitch from Gamble, and it is a bunt, and it is barely goes foul. And that ball went foul before anybody could get to it. If it stayed fair, we'd have had 2 runners on.
Yeah. Gamble was off the mound. The catcher was going down the first baseline. The first baseman had to
had to stay put, so he couldn't get an opportunity, but the ball just ran foul. No balls and a strike on Hudson. And there's a ball that is over to, he's going to get what he needed to get and get Fisher over. So that ball was right down the third baseline, so it was a 5-3. Hudson does his job, he makes the sacrifice, and gets Fisher over to second base. Here's the first baseman, Brody Arthur. Arthur steps in, he's a lefty, so he naturally will hit from that left-hand side. But he has the ability to put the ball on the outside and hit the ball down to left field. Here comes the first. Gamble looks down at second base. Here comes the pitch, and swung on, strike one. Foul ball, strike one. Arthur Rodriguez, and it's the top of the batting order for the Cats. Cats back to their old scheme, Matt, of playing small ball and getting runners in position.
Well, that's the best way to do it against a good defensive team.
Gamble looks back at second base. Their ball is high, and that'll even the count at 1-1. Jaden Fisher walked and took second base on a sacrifice bunt by Hudson Williams. One thing about Hudson Williams, he puts the ball in play. You call on him at any given time, and he's going to do just that, put the ball in play. Here comes the next pitch. Swung on, strike two. Looked like Gamble had a little bit of heat on that ball that time. We've not really seen him throw much off speed yet. And he is signaling something to his catcher, but he is ready. And here comes the pitch. Strike three and got him out. So Arthur strikes out. Here is A-Rod.
Boy, we need to get a piece of the ball.
Alex Rodriguez put the barrel of the bat on the ball.
Absolutely.
Gamble almost slunches as he looks at the catcher. Here comes the first pitch, and there's a ball outside. Yonkers up real quick as if he's going to try to throw and get Fisher off at second base, but he thinks better of it. Big hole in between first and second base. Gamble looks back, here comes the pitch, and there's a foul ball. It's out of play. That'll even the count at 1-1. Top of the batting order's up next. A ball and one strike, there's two outs, and the right fielder, Alex Rodriguez, is up. And there is a ball on the inside, ball two.
If I was trying to throw a curve?
Yeah. Yonkers keeps jumping up like he's going to try to throw the ball down to second base and get Fisher. That's probably ill-advised at this point with Fisher's speed. Here comes a pitch from Gamble, and that's fouled off right straight back into the backstop. And the count's even at 2-2. So the count's 2-2, and A-Rod looks in. Jackson Gamble on the mound for Nixa. He looks down. Here comes his pitch. A-Rod holds up, and you can see that he is used to that protecting the plate, Matt. He choked up just a little bit on his bat.
He toes the line.
Yes, he does. And it's a full count of 3-2. Cats have got a runner on second base. A ground ball through the infield is going to score a run for the Cats. And here it comes, and there's foul ball right back into the backstop.
Definitely hanging.
We'll do it again. How many pitches has Gamble thrown? He's had it pretty easy up until this inning.
It's about 41.
A-Rod standing in there. He's not going to be denied. He chokes up a little bit more on the bat. Gamble looks down at his catcher, Yonkers. Here comes the pitch underway. Swung on, got him, strike three.
Oh, man.
So the Cats leave one on second base. After 2 innings, there is no score. Neosho Wildcats 0 and Nixa Eagles 0. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm for working hard for what you get and then protecting what you've got. Your home, your vehicles, your life. I'm for making an honest living and taking pride in what you do, and for giving back to the community I call home. I'm for serving my clients with the respect and dignity you would expect from the farmers that started this company. And though I know you probably hope you never need me, I'm here for you when you do. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're a Missourian, I'm for you.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
And welcome back to Roy B. Shaver Stadium. We're just talking here with a couple of guys that have got some guns on these guys. Both of them are throwing fast. Crane is throwing 92, 93 miles an hour. Gamble is throwing the ball in the low 90s, 85, 89. So we've got a couple of guys that really throw the ball hard. And speaking of throwing the ball hard, the ball's up to Canton Smith, and he gets it over to Williams, who brings it back around, and we're ready to go. Catcher number 10, Tyler Yonkers, is up. Around the horn for the Cats is Nichols, Williams, Fisher, and Arthur. Out in the outfield is Blaine Patterson, and there's a high foul ball that is going to be backing out of play for strike one.
Soccer field action.
Yeah, Blaine Arthur is in left field. Finn Versluis is in center field, and Alex Rodriguez in right field for the Cats. On the mound is Brody Crane, and there's the next pitch, and that's a little bit high for a ball. Brody Arthur's over on first base, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Crane looks down. Here comes his next pitch, and there's a ball that's hit. Jaden jumps up and almost has it, and A-Rod gets in front of it, so it's a nice hit. Yonkers, the catcher, is on first base with a base hit.
His second baseman, number 1, Parker Main.
That's all right, though.
Here's Parker Main, the second baseman. Jaden jumped high, just was a little bit below it.
Yeah.
And Rodriguez was there to back it up. Parker Main, the second baseman, steps in. He's got a pretty wide stance. Here comes the first pitch from Arthur, and that's a foul ball. Guess Nix is trying to play a little small ball as well.
Well, it just got a little bit quieter. It's nothing we did very magically, but the kids had to go back so they can go home. So
that's right. It is about time. It's 2:45, so they needed to get back.
What a fun thing for us to experience.
Yeah, it was. It was really exciting. Here's the next pitch, and there's a strike, and it's up. Home plate umpire is yet to call it, so I'm assuming it was a ball. And Canton Smith was up throwing the ball back. No, that's strike 2. So there's no balls and 2 strikes on Parker Mann, the second baseman. Here comes the next pitch, and he fouls that one off. Looked like Nixa may have had a little bit of hit and run going on that time. But it was a foul ball, and runner had to go back. Number 10, Yonkers, is over there on first base, which is interesting. Most catchers don't run. Well, there is. Number 23 is a pinch hitter. Let's see if we can find out who that is.
I'll get it for you here in just a second. That is Logan Jones.
Logan Jones. And now the home plate umpire says there is a ball and 2 strikes, and there is a foul ball. That's a little bit different than what the scoreboard has. The scoreboard has got 2 and 2. And the count is actually goes down to the umpire again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the next. Crane steps off the mound for just a minute. I'm sure it's probably getting a little hot out there, Matt.
It's getting hot right here, Dad.
Yeah, it sure is. Crane steps up. Here comes the next pitch. And that's low for a ball. That evens the count at 2-2.
I put my phone in the pocket.
Yeah.
Get too hot and not work anymore.
Now, this one may be the same way. We'll see here in just a few minutes. I'll put it underneath it.
There you go.
There comes the next pitch, and there is a high ball, and that ball may be out of here. And it is. It's a home run. Parker Mann, a home run, and just like that, the score is 2-0 in favor of Nixa. We're in the top half of the third inning. Nixa celebrating in a way that's a little bit different than everybody else, but they have some guys that are able to hit the ball, knock it out. So that was a well-hit ball.
Yeah, it was.
So here's the top of the batting order. Caleb Jones. The right fielder, there's the first pitch, and that's low for a ball. Here comes the next pitch from Crane. And that's in there for call strike one. That evens the count at 1-1. No outs so far in the top half of the third inning. And Nixa's just scored 2. There's the next pitch. Swung on, strike 2. And I believe he helped Crane out a little bit. He went fishing for one that time.
Yeah, he did.
Crane looks down. Here comes the next pitch, and it's low. And that'll even the count at 2-2. And home plate umpire looks at the scoreboard, and he motions to everybody it is 2-2. There's a ball high and outside. That'll run the count full. Jones got a free pass to first base his first time up. Crane looks down, takes a deep breath. Here it comes. Ball 4. So Jones gets his second walk of the night. And here's Max Nichols, the left fielder. He was the first strikeout victim of Brody Crane. He's standing out. He's looking at one of the coaches. He steps in. Crane looks down at first. Here's the first pitch. And that's outside for a ball. Nichols looks back. Here comes the next pitch, and looks like he's going to square the bunt. He fouled that one off. And it went right back. He was trying to pull it back out of the way, but the ball caught his bat. So that'll even the count at 1-1. Nichols is talking like, they're making signals like that the ball hit him in the hand.
It looked like it bounced off his finger a little.
Yeah, it could have. So he steps in with a ball and a strike. Here comes the next pitch. Swung on, and that is a high ball. Blaine Patterson underneath it, makes the play and gets the ball back in. There's the first out. So there's one out, and here is Wyatt Vincent, the center fielder. Like those green shoes, don't you, Matt?
Oh, yeah.
Vincent struck out his first time up. Like a lot of these guys with these fastball pitchers, his back foot is standing on the back line of the batter's box. Crane looks down at first. Here comes the first pitch, and that's outside for a ball. Crane looks down, looks over at first. There's the next pitch, and that's swung on, and that's right in between second and for a shortstop and third base. Patterson with the ball up, but there's a base hit, so we've got runners on first and second.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 3, Caden Cloud.
And there's one out, top half of the third inning. Here's the shortstop, Caden Cloud.
We need to come out here and talk about it for a minute.
Yeah. It looks like we've got a couple of coaches that are going to come out and talk about it for just a minute. Coach Kilgore's coming out, and then Coach Osborne's going to come out as
We got an arm trouble. We got some arm trouble.
Yeah, we may very well have. Home plate umpire is going to come out, and it's reasonably unusual to have two coaches come out.
Well, his arms, his elbows. She's pointing to his elbow.
Yeah. So home plate umpire comes out. He looks over at the base umpire. And he stands in there. Yeah, I think that's exactly what's going on. He's pointing to his elbow, and we're sitting down here so we cannot see the Wildcat bullpen to see if we've got anybody warming up. But, yeah, Arthur's stopping. He's holding on to it. And we're going to call for the – looks like it's going to be Rodriguez is going to come in to pitch. So A-Rod comes in to pitch. We'll see who goes out into right field. So, Matt, while we've got a timeout, let's thank some of our sponsors.
Okay. Thank you, Affordable Propane. Thank you, Edgewood Bowling. Thank you, Big Nickel. Thank you, Insurance Benefit Consultants. We'd like to thank Tally Tire, the Law Office of Wood and Peterson, Newmac, Sports Locker, KSN KODE, and Zach's Car Wash.
All right, and we'll take a timeout, and we'll be right back while A-Rod is warming up. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
We all have those days where we don't want to get up. But when we have true discipline and choose to rise up, we become the best version of ourselves. To start your journey today, visit risefitnesscenter.com.
Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 417-451-4505.
Insurance Benefits Consultants now has 2 locations to serve you. They're located at 1009 South Neosho Boulevard in Neosho and at 701 Northwest McNelly Road in Bentonville, Arkansas. They are proud supporters of the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They provide Medicare and Medicaid supplemental policies, as well as life, health, and group health insurance plans from companies like Allstate and Colonial. For more information, call 417-451-4244 or in Arkansas, 479-431-5226.
And welcome back to the Marion Family Complex. John Ball, Matt Ball with you. We are at the Roy B. Schaefer Baseball Stadium, and we have a medical switch of pitchers, which means that Brody Crane was having some problem with his elbow, and he is out of the ball game. Alex Rodriguez, the right fielder, comes in, and he's got his black arm sleeve on, so he's getting as many pitches to warm up as he needs. Gage Harville, number 3, will be going out into right field. So I'm assuming that Harville will be batting in Crane's place.
Brody had 59 pitches total.
Had 59 pitches. He's been the workhorse for the Cats. He pitched against Webb City. In fact, it was a long ball game, but and Rodriguez was came in and finished the ball game for the Cats. The Cats won that ball game, as heard right here on KNEO and your Wildcat Sports Network in 9 innings, and we won by a score of 3-2, with, in fact, Crane scoring, not only pitching that many innings, he had a ground rule double, and he scored the winning run. There's not much else you can do, but we sure don't need to have him hurt before we get ready for district playoffs. So, Caden Cloud, the shortstop, steps in, and he'll be the first to face A-Rod, runner on second base, and a runner on first base. Jones is on second base, and Vincent, with a base hit, is on first base. Rodriguez looks down at second base, turns, here comes his first pitch, and there's ball inside. Well, I don't know whether that was just precautionary or whether Crane actually is hurting his arm more. And there is a ground ball that is hit to Hudson Williams, over to second for one, and back over to first, but not in time. But we got the force at second base, and that the runner goes on to third, but we have a 6-2-4, and there's 2 outs, and Cloud is on by way of a fielder's choice. Of course, you would like to win this ball game, but maybe not at all costs, because, as we've said before, it would be nice to be the number 1 seed, but when it comes right down to it, this ball club, Matt, really doesn't care what their seed is, do they?
The only thing I would think that would them just not wanting to wait.
No, that's true. Regardless of what happens, we will have a ball game on Wednesday night. We just don't know against who or what, and winning that ball game, then we'd play the next day on Thursday. Rodriguez in relief of Crane steps in the first one, and that is outside for a ball to Wyatt Mabe, the third baseman. Rodriguez looks down, looks over at first base. Here comes the next pitch, and Canton is up with it. Excuse me. You know, the Cats, Canton was up with that ball and got it back to the ball 4, and Nichols gets a free ride. We're still trying to figure things out here.
I'm trying to get a hold of Luke.
Here's Canton Smith. He steps in. He had a single his last time up, and it was a line shot. It was a solid single in left field. Canton looks like he's going to bunt. He pulls back, and Nichols is off at first base, but Yonkers jumps up and looks like he's going to throw the ball back. And there's a timeout. So while there's a timeout, we're going to take a timeout for this. We'll be right back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. Okay, I believe we're back with you again. And Drake Jennings just strikes out, and the Cats leave a couple of more. So there were no runs on no hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. At the end of 3 innings of play, the score is Neosho Wildcat 0 and the Nixa Eagles 2. We'll be right back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 1931 East 20th Street, Suite 103 in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
We all have those days where we don't want to get up. But when we have true discipline and choose to rise up, become the best version of ourselves. To start your journey today,
Tally Tire at 18152 East Highway 86 is a proud supporter of local high school athletics. Tally Tire is your full-service car and truck headquarters. They carry name-brand tires such as Nexon, Mastercraft, and Uniroyal, ATC camper shells and bed covers, and do oil changes and tune-ups. Call Tally Tire today for all your automotive needs at 417-451-0457 or online at tallytire.com.
Fawcett Greenhouse at 898 Baxter Street in Neosho is a proud supporter of Neosho sports. Springtime brings growing season and baseball to the Neosho area, and Fawcett Greenhouse supports all Neosho spring sports and wants to wish all Wildcats good luck for a happy and safe season of competition. Fawcett Greenhouse can supply you with all your home landscaping and gardening needs. For more information, the number is 417-451-5369 or FawcettGreenhouse.com.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Welcome back to the top half of the 4th inning. The batter is number 12, and that is Cameron Miller, the third baseman. He flied out to center field, and he's got a full count. Rodriguez on the mound for the Cats and fouled that one off. In relief of Brody Crane, who was taken out of the ball game because of some sort of an injury to his elbow, which could be detrimental to the Cats as we get ready to go into district playoff. But maybe a couple of 3 days of good rest will make a world of difference. Here comes the next payoff pitch, and that's ball 4. So Miller walks in order to start the 4th inning.
The catcher, number 10, Tyler Young.
Only score in the ball game has been when a home run was hit by a Parker Mann. This man right here, the catcher, Yonkers, had a single and was on base when the home run was hit. A-Rod looks down, he takes a big deep breath. There's the first pitch, and that's in there for call strike 1. And A-Rod looks down at Canton Smith. He's getting some encouragement from this crowd. Here comes the next one, and it is a bunt. And a nice play by Canton in order to get the runner at second base.
Nope.
And now we're going to call it a foul ball. Strike 2. I'm not sure what happened. Canton jumped out, and he got that ball in fair territory.
Yeah.
And he threw it down to second base in order to make the force there. And Canton is asking the home plate umpire for a little bit of clarification. But there are no balls and 2 strikes. And the throw over to first base, but Miller's back in plenty of time. Rodriguez looks down. Here comes the next pitch, and that's high for a ball. We'll make the count a ball and 2 strikes on the catcher, Tyler Yonkers. He had a single his last time up. Here comes the next pitch, swung on, and that got him, strike 3. So Rodriguez gets a strikeout. And here's the guy of the hour, Parker Mann. Hit that ball high and towering just over the left field fence. He looks over at the coach in the dugout, steps in. Hey, Rod's ready. Here comes the first pitch. And there's ball outside. The wind continues to blow just a little bit, but that doesn't seem to change the Cats' defensive lineup under any circumstance. And Rodriguez continues to throw the ball over to Arthur at first base, who is holding Miller on. That was really a great throw from Canton just a minute ago, wasn't it, man?
Yeah, it was.
Unfortunately, the umpire called it a foul ball, and there is a bunt, but it's going to be bunted foul, and that'll even the count at 1-1. It's probably closer to 90 degrees now. It is sunny outside. The wind is blowing, and it is blowing in from right field. Rodriguez comes with the next pitch. Swung on, got him, strike two. So Alex Rodriguez doing what he knows how to do very best, and that is throw strikes. He looks down at first base, looks back. Here comes the next pitch. Watching the audio of the Neosho Wildcats when we're bouncing back and forth, and there's a throw over to first base again. We had a bunch of kids here a while ago that was pretty exciting. They left here so they could get back home. This is the top half of the fourth inning, and here's the top of the batting order.
Number 13, Caleb Jones.
Jones has walked both times up. Rodriguez looks back at second and looks like he played for a bunt. That is going to be ball one. Can't seem to catch what the umpire did call strike one. That is exactly right, regardless of what the scoreboard says. Count is even at 1-1. Rodriguez looking after. Here comes the next one. And there's strike two. Yeah. Canton Smith thought that was a swing, and he appealed to the home plate umpire. Home plate umpire said that that's right.
They definitely discussed some sort of strategy, I can tell you that.
Yep. And I think at this point the Cats would give up the run to Nixa. He's been on the mound so far the whole ball game. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a foul ball. He got around on that one, and it goes over towards the Wildcats dugout. So that evens the count at 1-1. Campbell looks down. Here comes from the stretch, and there's a ball outside. So the count on Jaden is 2 balls and a strike. Cats need base runners. Hudson Williams is up next. And hard. And they got him. That's the first out. 6-3. And here's Hudson Williams. Hudson sacrificed Fisher over to second base his last time up. Comes the next pitch from Gamble, and it's high and out. There's a ball and 2 strikes. Comes the next pitch, and he got him, strike 3. So Gamble just is rocking right along. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is his 6th strikeout. And here, Gamble looks down. Patterson's waiting. And there's called strike on the inside corner. I guess that must be a little bit of a curveball. We can't see it. We're not dead on, but that is the second right-handed batter that's kind of turned a little bit, and then it's been a called strike. So just like that, the side is retired after 4. The score is 2-0 in favor of the Nixa Eagles. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back. And we will be underway. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Caden Cloud, will be first up, and there goes the ball down to second base. You just can't imagine how Kenton Smith had presence of mind, even though the umpire called that a foul ball on that bunt, to barehand the ball and get it down to second base, which would have been an out. But the Cats did exactly what they needed to do. They got the double play ball, and we said we would be willing to give up a run in order to. So the count is 0-2. Cats need to just put the ball into play and let the defense show us with that double play in the last inning. They were able to do that, and there's one right down the middle for call strike 1. Here comes the next pitch, and that's home plate umpire calls that ball. Muskius on the mound in relief of Brody Crane, throws over to first base. Over to Brody Arthur, and the runner is back. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a high ball, and that may be out of here. But one more run does. Well, now we will see. It looks like 2 runs came in.
Yeah.
Because of that ball, and the wind was blowing.
Well, I just don't think we communicated very often.
Top half of the 5th inning. Runner on second base. And Yonkers had a single, and he struck out. There's a pitch from A-Rod, and that gets away from Canton, and he gets it over to Nichols, but it's not in time. Gamble's first pitch, and it's in there for call strike 1. And Matt, that ball had some heat to it.
Sure did.
John Ball, Matt Ball here with you. It is the bottom half of the 5th inning. Cats are down by a score of 5-0. And there's a swung on for strike 1. That evens the count at 1-1. The only thing is the ball got in the air and popped up. So Rodriguez was at second base. He had to come all the way back.
Yeah.
Here's Jaden Nichols. He struck out, got a base on balls, and stranded at second base, and there's a call strike on the outside corner. Rodriguez is going, and they're not even going to try to throw it. So he got a really good jump that time. And Yonkers decided, I don't know whether he couldn't get the ball out of his glove or what, but by the time he looked up, A-Rod was already there. So he's on second base. And here's Nichols. And say that Rodriguez was stranded on second base. After 5 complete innings of play, the score is 5-0. Nixa over the Neosho Wildcats. We'll be right back after this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
The Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce invites you to download the new Experience Neosho app, available for free on the Apple and Google Play Store. Your guide to eat, shop, play, and stay in Neosho, and your direct link to KNEO Wildcat Sports. Download the app, register to win weekly prizes, and listen to your favorite Wildcat sports. Good luck, Wildcats. We can't wait to hear you ring that bell.
At the Hillcrest Church of Christ, we're striving to be His own people, eager to do what is good. Join us for worship at 10 and 6 Sundays, and for class Sunday morning at 9 and Wednesday evening at 7. You're sure to find a warm welcome and friendly people seeking to please God according to His Word. Wildcats, join us every Tuesday morning before school for Devo and Donuts at 7 a.m. Learn more about the Hillcrest Church of Christ at neoshochurchofchrist.org.
The Freeman Family YMCA is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Serving the 4-state area, the Freeman Family Y believes in putting Christian principles into practice through programs, building a healthy All right, welcome back to the Roy B. Shaver Stadium, and we have a pitching change. Hudson Williams comes in from shortstop. We talked about the versatility of this ball club and bringing younger kids in. We brought Gage Harville into right field, and Rodriguez goes to right field, and Harville goes into the hot spot at third base. Here's the leadoff hitter, Jones, and there's a call strike on the outside corner. Hudson's about as versatile as they get. He played third base last year. He plays shortstop. He pitches. I'm not sure exactly what else he can do. There's the next pitch. Swung on, strike two.
All I can tell you is that the kid's got a heck of an arm.
He does.
He throws good. He throws hard.
And he's already showed Mr. Jones he is someone to be contended with. Here's the next pitch. And that hit the ground for a ball. Makes the count a ball and 2 strikes. 3 hits in the 5th inning fall to Rodriguez. And there's a ground ball that is hit over to Fisher. Fisher back over to Arthur at first base for the out.
Now batting the left fielder, number 21, Max Nichols.
Here's Max Nichols. Nichols has struck out. He has flied out to left field, and he has grounded out on what really was kind of a bunt. It was a forced play. 4-6-3. Get the Cats out of an inning full. There's swung on, strike 1. Williams took a little something off of that one. Comes the next pitch, swung on, strike 2. Around the horn for the Wildcats right now is Harville at third base, Nichols at shortstop, Fisher at second, and Arthur at first base. In the outfield, it is Blaine Patterson. For Sluice, here comes the next pitch, and there's a ball hit to right field, and Jacob Fisher goes out and makes the catch. So there's 2 outs, and A-Rod is gone out to right field. So we've got 2 outs. And here is the center fielder, Vincent. Looking at those green shoes again. He steps all the way back in the corner. There's the first pitch, and that's a ball outside from Hudson. Hudson looks down, and he is ready to go. Here comes the pitch, and there's call strike. That one had a little bit of steam on it, didn't it? You could hear that, the mitt pop that time.
It did, too.
Comes the next pitch, and that's high for a ball. Makes the count 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs. We're in the top half of the 6th. Cats down by 5. Here comes a pitch from Williams. It was a little bit low. I tell you, Vincent wanted it, but he thought better of it. Call strike 2. So that runs a count full. Hudson looks down, comes for the stretch. There's the next one. That's high, and it's Vincent will get a free pass. Vincent had a base hit back in the 3rd inning. So we've talked about his speed, and we talked about how many that he has stolen last year. I believe he stole 31 bases last year. But here's Cloud, the shortstop. And Hudson turns around and steps back off the mound. And Vincent is back. It was kind of wasn't a hard throw back to first base. That was just kind of one of those to let Vincent know that Hudson knew he was there.
Yeah.
Now Hudson's ready. He'll deal to Cloud. And there goes Vincent. And it's a nice steal. And it was a nice throw. It just, the speed of that young man is just pretty good. Shortstop Nichols took the throw and thought that he was going to have a tag on him as he was sliding in. Hudson looks at second. Here comes a pitch. Swung on, strike 2. The ball's in 2 strikes on the 4-hitter, the shortstop, Caden Cloud. Hudson looks over at first base, steps off, or looks at second base and steps off. And Kenton wants to call timeout. He wants to talk to him for just a minute or two.
I think Hudson called him up for a second.
Yeah, he may have. Kenton kind of loping back to the plate, giving Hudson an opportunity to kind of rest for just a minute. No balls and 2 strikes on Cloud. Gage over on third base. Swung on, and that ball gets away from him. And there's the out.
There's 3 outs.
So, but there was no damage done. And after 5 1/2 innings of play, Cats are down by 5. The score is 5-0. The Neosho Wildcats will be right back. You're watching the KNEO and Neosho Wildcats Sports Network.
People's Bank of Seneca, we care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, we've dedicated to providing excellent customer service across the 4-state area, ensuring that every experience is exceptional. Visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. Learn more at peoplesbankofseneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
Looking for a personal checking account with real rewards? Open a Community Choice checking account at First Community Bank and earn up to $200. Get $100 when you set up direct deposit and another $100 after just 15 debit card purchases. No monthly service fee, free online and mobile banking, and interest paid on your balance. Open your account today with just $50 and start enjoying the perks. Call 888-780-8391 or visit firstcommunity.net for details. First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. See bank for complete details.
And welcome back to Roy B. Schaefer Stadium. John Ball, Matt Ball with you. Bottom half of the 6th inning, and the Cats have got to do something. Jackson Gamble has been on the mound for Nixa the entire ball game, and the Cats have yet to figure him out. We've had some base runners, but we have stranded him. So here's Gage Harville. He came in when Crane went out halfway through the 2nd inning, or halfway through the 3rd inning, and he played right field. Then when we made the change and Hudson came in to pitch, he moved to third base. He's a left-handed batter, and there's a first one, and it's swung on. Foul ball, strike 1. Looks like Liam McInturf, the big first baseman and pitcher, will be hitting next. And there's a called strike on the outside corner. And And there's a ball outside. So that makes the count a ball and 2 strikes. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you, but we appreciate our sponsors as well. Some of those sponsors are First Community Bank, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and there's a swung-on ball that
Nice
is
hit.
hit to right field, so Gage is on with a single. He just stuck his bat out in front of that one and drove it right into right field between the first baseman and the second baseman.
Sometimes you don't have to swing for the fence.
That's exactly right. Here's Liam McInturf. After McInturf, it'll be Fisher. Then it'll be Williams, Arthur, and Rodriguez. So the Cats have got the base runner on the first time again. And there is a call strike. McInturf looks down at third base coach Kilgore. And there's a throw back to first base. But Harville's back in plenty of time. Harville steps off a little bit more. There's swung on, and that is a ground ball to the shortstop. The shortstop has only one play, and that's at first base. And Harville's in at second.
How about it?
So McInturf is out 6-3. And there's the first out. Here's Jaden Fisher. Fisher has gotten a free pass, and then he is grounded out.
Boy, I tell you what, Harville can run.
Yes, he can. Yeah, the shortstop looked over at second base,
there
there
was
was no way.
There was no double play going to happen.
And Harville slid in head first into second base. There's the first pitch, and that is ball inside to the second baseman, Jaden Fisher. Comes a pitch from Gamble, and that's ball for ball 2. Gamble looks down at Yonkers, the catcher. Here comes the next pitch, and they're going to try to throw the runner out at second base, but it wasn't even close. Harville was back in plenty of time. That second baseman had to make a diving catch, or that ball would have been in center field. 2 balls and a strike on Jaden. Gamble taking an inordinate amount of time. Maybe he and Yonkers are having trouble figuring it out. Here comes a pitch, and that one does get away from him, and Gage goes on to third base. So the Cats are in a better position so far than they've been. There is 1 out and a runner on third base. Jaden looking down at Coach Kilgore at third base. He steps back in with a 3-1 count. Here comes a pitch. That's fouled off. Right up into the backstop and back.
Jaden's hanging in there.
He is. A base hit, and the Cats are off the snide. Comes a pitch, and there it is, a base hit to right field. And here comes the first run for the Cats, and Fisher with a great piece of hitting hits the ball into right field. So the Cats score. Here's Hudson Williams. There's a foul ball for strike 1. Hudson tried to check swing that, but the ball caught the tip of his bat.
Yeah.
A couple of nice hits so far for the Cats into right field, and produced a run. And there is a call strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Brody Arthur, then Rodriguez. And he fouls that one off. Looks like number 32 is going to be the pinch hitter, and that is Wyatt Woodward, a sophomore. Stepping in for Arthur.
Excuse me.
Hudson steps in. Here comes the next pitch, and that's high for a ball. Makes it a ball and 2 strikes. Cats have scored 1. We could use a couple more. Here comes the next pitch. Swung on and got him. Strike 3. So there's 2 outs. And here's Wyatt Woodward. And he's going to step in from the left-hand side. And the coach is going to take a timeout, so we'll take a timeout with him. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Welcome back. We have a new pitcher, and that new pitcher looks like is number 25. We'll see who that is. It looks like what happened was Gamble got his 105 pitches and was out. So the man coming in is 28.
Henry Hosch.
Henry Hosch is the new pitcher, and we'll give him enough time to be able to throw. Looks like he's got at least a fastball that we know of. And he'll be facing number 32, and that's Wyatt Woodward. I don't know whether he's been down. There's people down in the Nixa bullpen warming up still. So it looks like he's going to get about 4 more pitches, now 3. And he's going to take his last couple of warm-up pitches, and we'll be ready to go. Well, the sun is behind a cloud for at least just a few minutes, and that wind feels pretty good, doesn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. In case you're just now joining us and wanting to know what in the world is going on, this is a ball game that started at 2 o'clock between the Neosho Wildcats and the Nixa Eagles. We're getting ready to go. Number 28 is...
Henry Hosch.
Henry Hosch. And stepping in is Wyatt Woodward, the left-handed batter. And Fisher's bouncing around, and there is a hard hit ball, and it's a fly ball to center field. If it's caught, that's the end of the inning. So Woodward comes in and flies out, but there was a run. And there was 1 man left on base. Yeah, Neosho did pick up a run. The score going into the 7th inning is 5-1 in favor of the Nixa Eagles. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
At Calvary Neosho, we aren't your grandmother's church because she lives in Akron, Ohio, and that would be a terribly long commute for church. But if she did live in Neosho, we at Calvary would be delighted to have her come visit us. And since you live here, we would definitely like you to come visit us. Then, when your Nana comes to visit for Christmas, you can bring her to church and introduce us to her. We're sure she is a delightful lady. You can find us at Facebook/Calvary of Neosho, or join us in person at 3650 Oak Ridge Extension. We gather for worship Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Calvary Neosho. Not your grandma's church, but we'd sure like to meet her.
And welcome back. It's the top half of the 7th inning. The Cats are now down by 4. We get 3 up and 3 down, and we come rattle the bats, and we've got an opportunity to still be in this ball game.
It's Wyatt Woodward.
Wyatt maybe is the batter, and Wyatt Woodward, the guy that was batting and hit a high towering ball to center field, is in left field now. So Coach Kilgore bringing in some of the younger kids to give them some more experience and opportunities. First pitch from Hudson Williams is on the outside corner. It's called strike 1. Wind is picking up, and we kind of like that, don't we? There's the next pitch, and that's high and inside for ball. That makes it almost pleasant out here now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Top half of the 7th inning for a ball game that started at 2 o'clock. Here comes the next pitch, and that must have been just a little bit high for ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike on Mabe. Comes the next pitch from Hudson, and that's swung on and fouled back. That'll leave the count at 2-2. We'll be right back here on Saturday when the Pirates from Branson come to town. And they're swung on, and it's right back over there, probably into soccer field. The count remains 2-2. Maybe got a free pass. In fact, he's had 3 free passes today. And that was, he just got underneath that one. Jaden Nichols calls for it, and there's the first out. So here's number 28. We'll have to see who that is.
Henry Hosch.
That is Henry Hosch, the pitcher. Now of record, steps in, and there's the first pitch from Hudson, and it's high for a ball. Hudson looks down. Here comes the next pitch, and that's high for ball 2. Two balls and no strikes on the pitcher, Hosch. And that's a little high for ball 3. 3-0's the count. I would imagine he'll be taking all the way, and that's ball 4.
Got a pinch runner.
Yeah. Pinch runner is number 18, it looks like. And here's Miller.
Zane Stewart.
Miller has been pretty active. He plays first base. He had a double and came around and scored in the 5th inning. Steps in, gets that bat way up high, and there's the first pitch. And McInturf, who's now in at first base, almost had to field that ball. It bounced a little bit coming back into first. Hudson Williams on the mound for the Cats. Here comes the next pitch, and that one almost got away from Canton, but he latched onto it and looked hard down at first base. So the count's now 1-1. There is one out. Williams in relief of Rodriguez, who is in relief of Brody Crane. And there's the next pitch, and that's low for ball 2. And that one was high. It was a curveball that maybe didn't curve, so. Canton is saying, let's have another ball. Yeah, okay, he said he'll take that one. Counts 3-1. The catcher Yonkers up next. He has had 2 base hits in the ball game, sandwiched around a strikeout. Here comes the next pitch, and that is lined out into left center field. Rodriguez, or that's Versluis, up with the ball down to third base, and there's a double. So runners now on second and third.
Now batting the catcher, number 10, Tyler Yonkers.
So Miller gets his second double of the game. And Coach Osborne wants to come out and just talk for a minute or two, maybe set the infield in the process. And certainly this is a good opportunity for the Cats. If they put the ball into play, then the infield would be in at play at the plate. I'm talking it over, and home plate umpire is standing out here in front of home plate, and he's going to start taking some steps out that way, and there he goes. And he comes out, and that is the key for the base runners to all go back to second and third. And the batter is the catcher, Tyler Yonkers. He doesn't have the most speed in the world. The Cats, if they played in, have got a chance to. And there is a bunt. And he gets in, and it's a squeeze play that gets in. A squeeze play that was executed perfectly in fast. And Yonkers is on base again. But the score now is 6-1.
Carter Mabe is pinch running for Yonkers.
Yeah, Carter Mabe, we've heard that name before. We pinch ran in the last inning. And Canton comes out, fakes a throw to first base, and turns around and throws it to Harville. They're at third, but everybody's back safe. Here comes the pitch, and everybody's back where they need to be. Hudson looks like he's going to throw to third base and just hangs on. A little squeeze play was perfectly executed. You may see that again right here. And here it comes, and there's a... And he's out. And he's out. So there's the second out. But another run comes in, and a runner goes to second. So 3-4, and there is the second out. And that was Mabe, 3-4. And now here's Caleb Jones, top of the lineup. So Nixa picks up a couple of extra runs. Here comes the first pitch from Hudson, and that's outside for a ball. Looking at the Cats' bottom half of the seventh inning, it'll be Rodriguez, Versluis, and Nichols. Hudson looks at second base. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a ground ball to Jaden. Jaden is up with it over to McInturf to retire the side, but 2 more runs come in. And the score is now 7-1 in favor of Nixa. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 417-451-4505.
You found it, the ultimate car wash. The one that leaves your vehicle looking brand new every single time. Do we have a prep team that pre-washes? You bet. Over 300 ports applying soap to your vehicle? Yes, sir. 40 high-pressure nozzles providing over 2,500 psi of pressure? Who wouldn't? Buff and dry features that dry your car along with combined 100 horsepower blowers? Try 150. Be careful, we might just blow you away.
And welcome back. It is the bottom half of the 7th inning. Henry Host is the pitcher of record right now. And he gets his warm-up pitches out of the way, and he'll face Alex Rodriguez. Rodriguez had a hit back in the 5th inning. Was stranded at second base. Kind of puts his protective gear on and his gloves, and he's getting ready to step in. He hit a line shot to right field. He fell right in front of the right fielder his last time up. Here comes the first pitch from Hosh, and that's high for a ball. There's the next pitch from Hosh, and it's low and outside for a ball. There's 2 balls and no strikes now on the right fielder, Rodriguez. It's the third pitch, and that's swung on, and that is a high ball. The left fielder is underneath it and makes a play. Well, there's the first out in the 7th inning. Max Nichols out there in left field. I don't think he had to take 3 steps. Here's Versluis. He's been pretty quiet. He walked in the 1st inning and got to second base, stole third, and was stranded right there. Then he grounded out 6-3, and he's flied out to center field. Here comes the first pitch from Hosh, and that's a called strike on the outside corner. Stay tuned for the post-game show, which is brought to you by Arvest Bank in Neosho. Arvest Bank, proud to make Neosho home. Comes the next pitch from Hosh, and that is high and outside for a ball. That'll even the count at 1-1 for the speedy center fielder Versluis. If he could hit the ball down the first base line, he could get over in that corner, and he might run from now until Saturday, Matt.
I mean, now's the time.
Yeah. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on. It's a ball that's bumbled, and Versluis is on first base. So E5 and Versluis is on first. Here's Jaden Nichols. Nichols steps in, swings at the first one, and he was trying to foul that one down third base, and he got a little bit less of it than he wanted and hit the ball almost into the Nixa dugout.
Yeah. About hit one of the coaches.
Yeah. And there's a ground ball to the shortstop. The shortstop is over to second base for one, and he makes it over. And there is one out. Second out. Because Nichols is on by way of a fielder's choice. So there's 2 down, and here is Canton Smith. Canton steps in. wiggles the bat, and there's a call, strike one. Henry Hoosh, and there is a hard hit ball, and that ball is going to go back, and it is not caught, and the Cats are going to pick up their second run, and Canton may very well go around to third base, and he's going to stand up. So Canton hits a triple, and Cats pick up another run. Canton flat clocked that ball.
Yeah, he did.
And he got it all the way to third base. So the Cats have got something going. There's 2 outs, but a runner on third base. And here is Gage Harville. He had a single his last time up. Canton is staying on third base. And there's a hard hit ball to the center fielder, and he makes or the right fielder, and he makes the play. That was a well hit ball, and that is going to end it. But the Cats are going to pick up 2 runs before the ball game is over with, and the final score is going to be 7-2 in favor of the Nixa Eagles. We want you to be with us back here in just a minute for the post-game show. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Sam Gorham and Aaron Mitchell are your specialty risk insurance agents for Neosho and the surrounding area. They've been involved in Neosho sports since their own high school days and know the importance of athletic competition and how it teaches students life lessons every day. For all your home, auto, life, farm, ranch, and crop insurance needs, call Sam Gorham today at 417-850-5116 or Aaron Mitchell at 417-483-8337. You can also learn more online at specialtyriskinsuranceagency.com. Go Wildcats!
And welcome back to the post-game show. The post-game show is brought to you by Arvest Bank, where we believe in the power of serving others. From small business to agriculture, whether you're looking for someone to help manage your mortgage or an expert in wealth management, we got you covered. You deserve a financial partner who cares and can help you reach your financial goals. Arvest Bank, proud to call Neosho home. Well, the records for the Cats was they picked up 2 runs on 5 hits. They left 7 on base. That's something we are not going to be able to do, but hey, this Nixa ball club is a good ball club, aren't they, Matt?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? It was pretty evenly matched. You know, they're one of the teams that you can't make. They're gonna pick up on the little mistakes, and we're the same way. So I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, they're pretty well matched up today.
Yeah, there were no errors in the ball game for the Wildcats, so that certainly is good. We had trouble figuring out the premier pitcher, and that was Jackson Gamble, who did not allow us to get a whole lot, but the problem for the Cats was once we got people on base and got them into scoring position, it just didn't work. We left 7 stranded.
Yeah.
Yeah, this ball club from Nixa is good. I bet we will see them again because we will see them in Glendale. I'm assuming at this point they have secured the first seed for the Class 6 District 6, and the Cats will be somewhere second or third, I'm going to assume. But like I said earlier, for this ball club, it really doesn't matter what the seeding is. It would be nice to be able to have something that we know about before we come in. We will be back here on Saturday. Now, the jury's out whether we're going to be behind home plate or not. We'll have to see if we can make sure that our equipment is working good. So, ball game is over from here. There's a JV ball game starting right after this. You've got time to come on out. The sun is not near as bad. The wind is blowing just a little bit. So until we see you the next time, John Ball, Matt Ball, that will be once again 2 o'clock with the pregame show being about 1:40 on Saturday as we take on the Pirates from Branson. Till we see you again, that's John and Matt saying, Go Cats!
This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of KNEO Sports Network. This has been a sporting outreach of KNEO Sports Network, reaching into communities to make a difference for eternity.